This is Great Tastes of Manitoba from the Grant Park Liquor Mart Education Center. My name is Ace Burpee. This is Susan Riese, Manitoba Pork. And what you're watching is one of the greatest days of my life. And it's about to get even better. I mean, shepherd's pie, huge win. The chops were incredible. I can't even explain to you how great they were. And then a great day gets even better. We're gonna make like Manitoba's sort of favorite ribs.
Absolutely.
Unreal.
So yes, crowd-pleasing Manitoba pork back ribs.
That was it.
This recipe was inspired by one of our farm families, the Klippensteins, actually out in Niverville. This is their recipe, so
I like to give her out to them. Niverville.
And so we're starting off with pork back ribs. Very meaty, very tasty, very popular. And the difference that you're seeing here...
Yeah, they look like the same but different.
They are the same but different, right. So this rack of ribs here has the membrane already pulled off.
I see.
This one, you can see the membrane is a little thicker. This still has it on.
Yeah.
So you're gonna wanna pull it off. It's a little bit tough when you cook it. It's a little bit chewy.
Okay.
Ideally, you wanna take it off so that the flavors of the different spices you're using end up penetrating the meat. So,
yeah, especially if there's a rub, right?
Now, if you go to an independent butcher shop, they'll do that for you at no extra charge usually. So that's one option. Or
hey, also, while we're on that subject, if I go to either like an independent butcher or wherever it may be, I want to make sure I'm buying Manitoba pork.
Right, so the best thing to do is have a conversation with the meat manager or the butcher to find out where the pork is from, if it's local or Canadian or imported from somewhere else.
Okay.
That's probably the best way to do it. We just can't label our pork as being from Manitoba because some of the pork that we process here comes from other provinces.
Gotcha.
So the way you would take the membrane off is you just lift it with the back of or the front of a butter knife. Just try to get that little membrane up. And then ideally take some paper towel and you grab a hold of it and then you try to pull it off. And you would just...
And then it ends up like that.
Yeah, you just end up doing that, and I can't seem to grab it right now. But anyway, that's what you would do.
Okay.
Doesn't really take that long, couple minutes at best.
All right, then we end up with this.
Right, so now we're gonna go to rubbing our ribs with our spice mixture.
Yeah, we are.
So we have one done already, and here we've got a mixture of paprika and brown sugar, some salt, a little bit of chili pepper, gotta have chili pepper, some ground black pepper, some cumin, and some cayenne pepper.
I can smell that.
You smell all of that? And you just go crazy, just sprinkle it on, and basically you're gonna rub both sides of the rack.
And then it's sort of, because there's like some coarse things in there, right? It ends up taking the flavor better and also takes the sauce even better. You rub both sides?
Both sides. Oh yeah, you want to get it everywhere. And then when we're done rubbing, we're going to put these ribs in the oven and roast them.
Yes, we are.
The key to tender ribs is slow cooking.
For sure.
So in the oven at about 300 for a couple of hours.
There's no rush.
There's no rush. You can't rush good ribs. I just have to wash my hands off.
And then, so I guess we bake them, then we'll figure out when we know we can put them on the grill, and then I am going to baste them, and I have been dubbed officially by the crew, the Ace of Baste, which is honestly one of the better titles I've ever had, so I'm pleased. Okay, so how do we know that they are ready to go on the grill?
Usually
a couple ways.
Right, so one way to tell is the meat does start pulling away from the bone.
Yeah.
All right, but even better than that, these ribs are a bit hot, so I have to be careful. When you start to bend them and the meat starts to crack there, that's when you know they're ready for the grill and for that last bit of cooking. So barbecue sauce. So this is a homemade barbecue sauce. It's got lots of good stuff in it. We're starting with a base of ketchup and apple juice.
Sure.
With a couple of splashes of Kahlua.
What?
Yes. And then equal parts of Worcestershire sauce, some apple cider vinegar and molasses, and then a few other spices, Dijon mustard, brown sugar, and chili powder.
It smells insanely good.
And that would just simmer for about 30 minutes. You just want it to thicken up a little bit.
Okay.
So you knock yourself out there and baste, and I am going to slice up a few more of these ribs that have just come off the grill because I know you're gonna want to
eat them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And notice that I'm dividing them up so that you're sharing them with your friends.
Yeah, that's very nice of you. That's really good. That's what I want, less ribs. Okay, good? Yeah, that looks all right.
And you're gonna do that for about 5 to 8 minutes aside, turning them often, and just slather them in sauce.
I feel like it'd be irresponsible for me not to eat a rib.
Well, then
like that would be almost,
like
not criminal, but close. Thank you to the Klippenstein family out there in Niverville, by the way, for this recipe.
I'm gonna keep slicing.
Yeah, well done. So these are, what are we calling them? Crowd Pleasin Manitoba Pork back ribs. They have a rub, they have a sauce, and we get to eat them, and this is the best.
Are they
unbelievable. Honestly, this is just the best day. Come right back. We're going to pair with all these dishes.